Hello.
Hello. Hey. Well,
Dolls.
we're back in person. Feeling good.
Things are happening.
Feeling good after my trip to Texas.
Yeah.
Feeling healed.
Austin Subheads came out of the woodwork to
Yes.
come to Simon's art opening.
To all the girlies who came.
You said you thought it was a bunch of lesbians?
There were confirmed one lesbian couple. They were really chic. Everyone felt kind of queer.
Okay, I love that.
All female, seemed female identifying, presenting as female. So I was into it.
Hell yeah.
They all turned the fuck out.
I like anytime one of us can get a lesbian confirmation, I feel like we're on the right path.
Yeah. When the lesbians are turning out for you,
you're doing something right.
You are.
It's hard. It's easy to piss a lesbian off and hard to make them like you. And once they turn their backs, you better
done.
watch the fuck out.
Everyone's always like, you gotta keep the gays happy.
No, gays, it doesn't take much. Lesbians, you will pay dearly. If you piss off a lesbian,
you will pay with your life.
Yeah.
Your soul.
And I say this as a bisexual.
Yeah.
I'm an unforgiving bisexual, so I can only imagine the levels of
boundaries,
anger, resentment, boundaries, and just affirm you're cut off for life that lesbians carry with them. So I'm just glad that we're on the right side of lesbian history right now.
They were happy. They were definitely wanting us to come to Austin to perform. I said, so
we
you
will
say?
Someday.
I'll keep my eye on you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I said. It feels great to be back in gloomy LA.
Does it feel great to be back? Are you happy to be back?
Gotham City. No, I wasn't happy landing. I mean, I was happy to get Mango.
Yeah.
But I was like...
that goes without saying.
Oh, God. Coming in.
It's a rude awakening.
It is. The snow-capped mountains flying over.
But you know what? I think getting out of the house more is the key to Los Angeles living. Getting into nature vibes and trying to find where those are, and there are a lot of them. That's how you keep it in balance.
We forget sometimes.
Oh, I forget all the time.
We're surrounded by nature.
I like to go full mole person.
Yeah?
Yeah. But then...
in your home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then when you get out and you're like, oh, get a little sunshine, breathe some air.
It would be hard for me. Your apartment is so cozy and like vibey. It would be hard to leave.
It's really hard to leave.
And you have sort of like a Shire entrance.
It's very Hobbit.
Yeah, it's very like Hobbit house.
Yeah,
with great lighting and molding.
Mm-hmm. I really keep things cozy in here, but it does make it hard to leave. And then sometimes it'll even make me like scared to leave. And that's when I know I really need to leave because I'll be like terrified of setting foot outside of my apartment.
You go into a place of clutch.
Oh, full clutch.
I feel the same way. But it was great. I'm also like Stockholmed by LA where like I never want to leave. And it was great to get out and remind myself of the world outside of here and that people are happy.
Yeah. LA is a ruse.
It is.
It holds you in its iron grip, sinking its claws into you, telling you, you must be here. You must be here. The only way to make anything happen is to be here, here, be in Hollywood. And then you leave and you're like, oh, I could actually be anywhere and would prefer to be anywhere else and be happier and have a better quality of life. And just like my vibrational existence would be raised. And then you come back to LA and you slip slowly back into that way of thinking that it's like, I have to be here. I have to be here. But this jig is up. You actually like, and I'm saying this collective VOO, don't have to be here.
To LA's credit though, I feel the same way about New York. New York, Stockholm Zoo too.
Totally.
And you're like, you have to be here. It's the center of everything. And it is in a lot of ways. But then once you step outside of it, you're like, oh, fairly low vibrational there. Great city, but
incredible city. Sucks you in, turns you into a human cockroach.
Mm-hmm. And you're mad.
Yeah.
Mad as hell.
Oh, I'd be furious.
I was mad as hell every day.
I'd be chaining cigs all the time.
Well, yeah.
I'm pretty mad as hell in LA, though. Like, I have a fair amount of road rage driving around, and I don't even drive, really, because I work from home. So my big drives are, like, driving maybe 2 or 3 miles away.
Yes, last night I was going to a meeting, and I was on Sunset and I was waiting for the light to change, and I saw this truck speed by on Sunset heading towards the chateau, and this middle-aged, like, unassuming white woman was behind him. Just he clearly had cut her off, and she just held her hand on the horn, and I heard it for like half a mile. She was just tailgating him, just holding her horn down, and I was like, damn, everyone is mad as hell.
Yeah. I'm not a big
She
horn
punished.
girl, but I do a lot of like head shakes, and like I'll head shake you and stare you down, and I'll go, what the?
That's almost worse.
Yeah.
Because
That's
like,
way worse.
That's like, I'm not mad at you, but I'm disappointed.
It's like, I know what you did. I'm seeing you. I'm judging you. You're a horrible driver. I'm an incredible driver. And you're ruining this entire experience of the road. Get your fucking shit together.
I horn a lot, but I also think everyone in LA is stoned driving. I swear.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone's just high as hell and like kind of swerving and just like drifting.
Being stoned is also one way to deal with being
in LA.
Yeah,
that's true. Can't do that.
Yeah, not for you.
Not for me. But thank God I have
cigarettes
and beta blockers.
Yeah.
We were shaken and touched to see the Princess Diana of Marina del Rey at the courthouse yesterday.
God bless her.
In a brown suit.
Wearing camel head to toe.
Camel head to toe, heels to the gods.
Bun tight.
Umbrella.
Sunglasses on. Umbrella up.
Pitter patter of rain happening. Click,
Scheana
click, click.
fought for justice, and justice was served.
Where was she?
I think she was
Downtown?
maybe downtown.
She walked out. There were like reporters everywhere. Just the ease of which she addressed the adoring press.
She's an incredible woman.
Yeah, it's like so typical. It's very telling that she didn't show up today.
Very telling, and now you'll see everything. She wasn't it sad. She's really taking away attention. There are people that really need this. There are people that suffer from domestic violence all the time. In my head, when she was saying that, I was like, yeah, like Brock said. but that's neither here nor there now.
He posted a photo where he was like staring off. He's like, well, we're here. Lots of people could be using this. Actual victims. I was like,
yeah, like good. But like, let's not go down that road.
We won't go down that. We won't open that can of worms.
But I was just like, the irony was thick, but I am really glad that Scheana got the restraining order dropped.
Yep.
And
she showed the fuck up.
I don't ever want SheShu to be silenced, shackled, or served.
Kind of annoying that it was dropped less than a week. Yeah.
But that was maybe her tactic all along.
Mm-hmm.
Raquel...
She's cunning. Or the people behind her are cunning.
She? I still haven't gotten the read totally.
That she's smart.
Read. Yeah. And I think it's the kind of thing where you can be freaking out. You're in the midst of a scandal or headline, so you have more attention than ever, which means more vulture people will circle and try and get a piece of the pie.
Yeah.
So if you're a dum-dum, you can end up with vultures that make everything worse, which I think...
She is.
I didn't... TBD still. The verdict's still out for me personally on Rock, but I think that, like, whoever she was working with and, like, their tactic of, like, doing this restraining order and trying to brush off, like, any responsibility, I think they botched that.
Yeah,
I think
agree.
She should have been from the jump, owned it.
Yep.
And been like, it happened, it's happening, and then just done the, like, I mean, apologize. Your apology means nothing. And also, like, you don't need to publicly apologize in their situation to anyone. It's a personal, private thing. I mean, you'll have to talk about it on the show you're on, but, like, you don't owe fans an apology. You don't owe even, like, sorry to say, you don't owe Ariana a public apology for fucking her man.
Maybe do it in private.
I mean, you could, sure, do it if you really mean it and you feel like you need to, but, like...
It is a private matter.
Yeah, it's not like... And so to handle it really publicly is just weird, and then to try and do all these, like, deflections, and, like, I don't know if that's, like, she thinks, like, my job or my image is tarnished. I'm like, bitch, your image is tarnished by being part of Vanderpump Rules. Like,
yeah, and then like doing the addendum statement about, like, the status of her and Tom. I was like, we don't need to know that. Like, leave that to yourself.
Yeah.
Being like, we don't know where things are. We've approached this. We started with a loving friendship and it evolved. It's like, we know you guys are fucking.
Yeah.
You're in love.
You're
literally
cheating on. We know what this person does. He cheats on his current girlfriends while he sets up a new relationship, then jumps to the new relationship for years. And then he will eventually cheat on you and do the same thing. And he'll keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And he might get married at one point and do it to that wife. And then he might do it to his next wife and his wife after that. Or
he's Bluebeard.
Yeah, it's not. Just, it's funny, and I obviously like really appreciate all the news cycle around it and every twist and turn, and the public apologies are hilarious to me. But also to treat it as though this is like anyone deserves any more to be said after you've fucked someone is like, aside from just the people involved in the fucking, it's like absurdist theater.
Yeah, and I still hold true to like, why are you apologizing to the fans? Like, I don't need your apology. I love it.
Yeah,
I don't love. I mean, I'm sorry.
The only thing I want her to say, I say thank you, and then she says you're welcome. That's the only exchange that should be going on from fan to rock.
Yeah, I'm bummed for Ariana. She seems like a really good person, but like, it's
this
really
will be better for her.
None of my business, and she's gonna be great and like end up fine. But also like, I just still don't understand, as if they like said something like, where was the same apology when like Stassi got in trouble or like her, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying like they're almost like equating it to that level of like monstrous.
Yeah.
When it's like, you guys just fucked each other. It's none of our business. It's an entertainment for us.
Yeah. You lied and fucked and betrayed each other. That's exactly what we signed up for when we started watching this show, and that's like where I hope it will continue to always go.
You're right. I would have did a notes app that just said you're welcome.
Imagine
that would have been punk.
The absolute biggest power move that anyone could do. Like, let Tom apologize and be embarrassing. Like, he is past, like, he will always be embarrassing.
Yeah.
I think Rock is kind of iconic in her own way. And
Rock.
Now she'll only be Rock.
She's rock.
She's rock and roll.
She's rock and roll doll.
She's true rock and roll.
She is rock and roll status.
But saying you're welcome would have been so cunt. Like, do you understand? The gays would have had a parade.
I would have gagged.
Yeah, the gays would gag, wigs would be snatched, a parade. Pride would be back in West Hollywood.
She'd be the grand fucking marshal of the Pride Parade.
And as she should be.
But no,
some idiot got involved and was like, you need to do the restraining order, then do this, didn't do that, and like try and maybe her family was involved and they're really scandalized, but it's like,
don't say it's like, okay, say you're a sex addict, say you're a love addict. It's like, okay,
let's not do that anymore. Let's just own our decisions and be like, look, I'm on a show where we get paid to suck each other off behind other people's backs, and then they find out, and then the show is good. And so, like, let's not make any bones that it's any other way but that.
The errors.
Yeah.
And then people being like, yes, thank you for apologizing. It's like, okay, why do you care?
Yeah. Literally.
We are the viewers. Go to therapy.
I say this with love, but go fuck yourself. Like, give yourself an orgasm or something to, like, get out of this, like, puritanical mode of judging these two people. It's so bizarre, but I think that's calmed down like a tiny bit, or at least I've disengaged from anyone that's like taking a really
holier than thou like
intense stance around this. I'm like, this is the most hilarious thing that's happened in a really long time. It's one of the best memories of Q1, to be honest. Q1 kind of slayed.
Q1 is slayed. Now we're
in Q2.
Yeah.
Do you know what the Qs are?
January to March.
Is Q1.
Late March to...
No, April May, June, Q2. July, August, September, Q3.
And then the rest is 4.
Yeah.
Love.
Just the months of the year divided into 4 Qs.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a little finance.
Great, thanks.
Finance from me to you.
Yeah.
Business from me to thee.
As a business owner, it's good
As
to
a
educate your employees on
and
the cues and the
a
divisions.
CEO, an owner, a girl boss. It's
as
important
CEO,
to tell you what queue we're in right now.
Thank you.
And when this podcast comes out, we'll still be in Q1, but then the next day it'll be April 1st and it'll be Q2.
Can't believe it's almost here.
I know.
Q2, I mean.
I know.
Tomorrow night I'm going to be sleeping in my little bed just going, what will tomorrow bring? What will this quarter bring?
Q1 brought hysteria.
It did. It brought mass poisonings, derailment.
Mass poisoning.
Another water. Pray for Philadelphia right now. My home city.
I was hauling American corporate eco disasters on this week's episode of Too Niche, and we hauled the Philly disaster like as it was unfolding.
Wow.
Because I was looking at facts about the Norfolk Southern one, and then it was like, oh my god, another corporate eco disaster is taking place, much like school shootings where one happens every day. So do train derailments.
There was one today.
There's actually been like 4 or 5 more.
There's one today in Minnesota.
Oh, love that.
There's a water supply in Kentucky that's been contaminated.
Kentucky, after the research I've done, I'm like with love and light to anyone that lives near a river in the southeastern United States.
I love expressing just like awe at the the number, and then people being like, this is normal.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right. Well,
they love to be,
okay.
People love to be
actually, this is normal,
poison.
And this happens all the time. You're just like just waking up to it. Cool.
Do they say that from a place of like, we know this is really bad, or like it's totally cool and fine?
I think a mix. Or like what are we going to do?
I guess buy bottled water.
Yeah. I mean, apparently Philly, they said it's fine to drink, but I wouldn't.
I don't try. If I get a text saying you shouldn't drink the water. I mean, I don't drink LA drinking water anyways.
Mm-hmm.
If I had my choice, I wouldn't even shower in it, but I'm not that rich, so I can't do that. But like, I wouldn't let the water of this city touch any part of my skin, hair.
Touch the skin.
I feel weird even giving Tony drinking water.
I give Mango Fiji a lot.
Yeah, like I don't want any part of it. But I think that that's weird. And I don't think that that should be the case, that you refuse to drink your city's drinking water because you don't trust it.
No, I mean, my parents, they're in Philly right now, and they landed, and everyone on the plane got the alert as soon as the Wi-Fi came on that don't drink the water at night, starting at midnight. What else was happening?
Has Gwyneth been proved innocent yet?
No. I think it's his week. Ugh. That guy is an asshole.
Yeah, he's a fucking psycho.
He's a total fame fucker, mental patient who shouldn't. This is amazing that she's doing this to show the world like what an idiot he is.
Yeah, he sucks ass.
And her faces during his is like, it's amazing.
He's been a charlatan from day one. The first time I ever read about this case, like before it was going to suit, I followed it as it happened. And I was like, this motherfucker.
Yeah. He's blaming
like his bad relationship with his family on like colliding with Gwyneth on a ski slope. I'm like, his own daughter testified and gave a deposition against him, being like, he's an asshole. He's always been a jerk.
Yeah, and also like
the fall changed nothing.
Yeah, and he's like he's basically saying like, I have multiple personalities now. I'm like, no, you just need.
No, that's on you, doll.
Then you need to go get help. This isn't Gwyneth's fault.
No, you skied into her.
I love all this is her fit.
She's an incredible, strong woman.
She is.
And thank God she is also brave to show up in that courtroom every day.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows she's going to be like dragged through the mud for every little thing that she does.
Mm-hmm. But
I don't know how she does it, because she does get so much hate. I guess she's just really wealthy and is hot and famous, so it's fine. But she does get an inordinate amount of hate and vitriol online.
I mean, this week she's been getting a lot of glowing write-ups in like the New York Times about just like her court decorum and her fashion and like what she's bringing.
And I think maybe this is a time when everyone can take a step back from the Gwyneth hate and be like, actually, she's a slay.
Like Anne Hathaway.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, maybe we should be hating this man for being delusional and like
wasting everyone's time.
A dick.
If I were Scheana, I would be getting on a high horse about this man. He's taking up time in the courts that actual people really need.
Victims.
The real victims, the true victims.
It reminded me of Renee and Mob Wives, like walking out of the court after her dad got arraigned. And just being like, calling Big Ange and being like, what am I going to do?
Crying about Junior.
Junior!
No! Pray for Renee.
Pray. Let's get into Pump.
Happy Argentinian Beef Week, by the way.
May we all celebrate.
I was boots on the ground in the midst of Beef Week. I didn't even know that it was Beef Week. I just knew that there was beef signage all over SUR when I was there last Saturday, and it really confused me. But then our loving Patreon community set me straight with a TikTok that explained Argentinian Beef Week to me. And then I delved a little bit further into Beef Week and found out that Guillermo is Argentinian. And so therein lies the Argentinian Beef Week connection.
Wow.
But if I were a consultant for SUR restaurant, I would say, do you really need signs? You don't need signs.
They're giving like ballroom conference.
Yeah.
It's
giving like Denny's.
Yeah.
Grand Slam signage, like in the corner. There's a place for signage in restaurants.
When you have an easel involved,
you can't charge.
No.
You can't be charging like $75 for a steak and then have a sign in your restaurant. That's not going to work.
Have it on a QR thing or just like something. I don't know.
Have no QRs.
Just mention it. Have the servers be like, by the way, it is Argentinian Beef Week.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay, I'll try it.
I love them. The thought process of being like, I guess the people that would go to SUR willingly at this point are very susceptible to a restaurant sign. And I would even venture to say the type of people that are going into SUR thinking that it's like a really nice, great dining experience are probably experiencing a lot of signage in restaurant in their day-to-day existence.
Yeah.
So maybe that is really smart on Guillermo and Co.'s part. James Kennedy is hard at work spinning his new single, which I really love.
Oh, wait. I'm Carey.
Oh, I'm Lara.
And you're listening to Sexy Unique Beef.
Podcast. Argentinian Beef Week, the podcast.
Pumpheads!
Ain't nobody got me feeling like I'm feeling you. Like I'm feeling you. Like I'm feeling you.
Yeah, James is... I like his 1, 2, 3, motherfucker! Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. It's Vegas vibes. We also hauled, this was one of the hauls that we did on Too Niche where we did all the Vanderpump Rules singles, and this one really moved me.
Yeah.
I stand by my assessment of James being a musical talent and hoping that he goes far with that. Hoping that he ventures beyond the doors of SUR.
We'll
and
tell Ziggy. He
I ventures outside of the 90069 zip code.
Yeah.
One day.
Please, James.
Just once. That would be cool.
His dad is there. James says when he was young, he goes, yeah, when I was young, my dad got on me about being out late. But then a few days later, he'd be nudging me to go see a DJ set.
His dad literally talks like our impression of Lisa Vanderpump. Is his regular ass voice.
He's basically like encouraging James to be an alcoholic.
He goes, I just can't believe you can DJ without a drink. James is like, yeah.
Yeah.
He's on Valium, this man. He goes, I didn't see you marrying Raquel. Not from day one.
Not from day... It's like Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous voice.
Yeah.
From day one.
It's Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous voice on like several vodka tonics and like...
Quaaludes.
Yeah.
He's a Quaalude guy, I feel like. He's like, but I do see you marrying Ali 100%.
It was
James
like, really?
Oh, yeah, me too.
I love James's face when he goes, I never envisioned you marrying Raquel, not for 1 second, not from day one. James goes, right, and what about Ali? Oh yeah, I see that. I really see that.
He wants dad's love.
I know, but this dad...
Does he live in London?
Maybe.
What's his deal?
He's a big
DJ?
He's a drinker.
He's down at the pub.
He is at the pub.
He's in Upton upon Thames.
Meanwhile, 2 idiots are trying to open a restaurant.
I wrote, watching the Toms pretend to work is quite frankly offensive.
The fact that they've been able to
Be considered.
business people
Mhm.
and have people put money into this venture and then be doing this venture called Schwartz and Sandy's is something to be up in arms about.
Is it a venture or is it a venture?
It's a venture. I
Bubba,
just wrote morons.
Bubba arrives. I was like, Katie,
Katie, you're better than this.
stop. I know. I
Please,
really
for the
believe
love
in
of
you.
God.
She looked snatched.
Yeah, she was snatched. She had bounced back from Beret and she came ready to throw down.
She looked hot. She was wearing spaghetti strap, little number, and her bob was tight.
Greg's wife comes in, who I love. I want more of her. And
Jolene.
yeah, Jolene. She goes, hi to Katie. And Katie goes, hi. I'm Tom's soon-to-be ex-wife, but we're still besties. I was like, what the fuck? What are you saying to this woman? This is a professional lady.
Well,
Don't
she kind of said it like under her breath because the woman had already moved on.
I know. And I was like, Katie,
Katie.
this is humiliating.
Jolene kind of looks like Beverly D'Angelo.
Mm-hmm. I like her, and it makes me like Harold Greg more.
Mm-hmm.
Greg looks like he's
Damn, it's
bouncing back
boring.
slowly
My God.
from his motorcycle accident.
Oh yeah. He's apparently, according to my mole, he's up and running. We'll have to get him again soon.
Greg's back up and running. His motorcycle's back from the shop. I'm ready to take to the Escalade. And let's run him off of Mulholland this time.
Schwartz invites Bubba to a food testing at Schwartz and Sandy's because as an extension and like an olive branch. I was like, great.
Great. Nothing like trying some shithole food.
A lobster corn dog.
Which I will say is
Look
one of the
good.
better things that's on the menu.
But all the food looked like it would give me immediate diarrhea.
Yeah, Sandoval goes, Greg is more adamant about having an upscale food menu. I was like, why does Greg get to make... who is running the ship?
Also, why
Why
are they
do you
so mad at
complicate-
him for like wanting it to be nice?
I just don't understand where what the central problem is.
Yeah.
It's like either he wants it to be really nice and they're fucking everything up and making it not nice. Like the food is just on its face. Like it is really, really, really bad food. The lobster corn dogs are fine. It's passable.
They said-
And the French fries are not the fries that you see served on this tasting. It's more like a shoestring fry, and you can get different seasonings on it, and those are good, but it's not hard to do a fry.
It's a flat iron steak with some fries. Katie goes,
fries.
wow.
She goes, that is beautiful. I was like, it's fucking steak with like a verde sauce. It's not like that. It's not groundbreaking. Steak frites you're wowed by?
Sandoval's like, well, this is really good. I'm really happy with this venture, with this food.
I'm just really confused at like, do all these people, have they always had bad taste in food?
Yeah.
And then maybe that's what attracted them to SUR?
Yeah.
Or did their indentured servitude train their taste buds to think that that was good? And so now as they branch out into other ventures, they hold every food to the SUR standard.
That'd be a good name for this episode.
What?
Indentured servitude.
Indentured servitude. It is. But like where did things go wrong? Because
think-
there's another restaurant
Lara, I
moment
think things went wrong
at birth.
more than a decade
In the
ago.
womb. In the womb.
Decades ago,
It's actually
dear.
like genetically you would just trace
Yeah.
it back in their family trees. It's like intergenerational traumatic taste bud.
One day they will have like a propensity to be employed at SUR. That will be like a gene when a baby is born.
Mm-hmm.
When they're in the womb, they'll be like, there's a risk that they might join the staff of SUR one day.
They have the SUR gene.
The SUR gene.
And I
the
know
SUR
I sound
gene,
and I
that's
know
it.
I sound really snobby when I say this, but
You do,
it
but
doesn't
it's
come,
okay.
It's coming from a place of I genuinely know what good food and bad food tastes like, and I don't believe that anyone should be victimized by having to pay top dollar at these restaurants for shit food.
Well, I'm like, I will eat anything, but when I've eaten at SUR, I've always been,
I'm always like, what?
what is this? It's
just
bad.
a true what. And then Pump is like, oh my God.
Pump's
Tom
to
Tom
me
is
is a little
actually
better
good.
than SUR.
Pump has one thing on the menu that is okay, but it still is a gamble.
The least is fish and chips.
It's a salmon salad.
Mm.
I know, and I wouldn't order anything at Pump now, knowing what I know.
Lala, Scheana, and Ariana go to lunch where they invite Allie.
Yeah, girls' lunch. When the waiter's taking their order, Scheana goes, I definitely want a sea bass.
I wrote the same thing. Well, I definitely want a sea bass. In the background, you see the hostess with her Joanne pink cowboy hat on.
There's something about Scheana saying she definitely wants a sea bass that really stuck out to me. And I was like...
Whenever I hear sea bass, I think about Richard Attenborough in Jurassic Park. Chilean sea bass when they're serving it after the raptor eats the cow. Remember that?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I always think of that.
I think of like The Sopranos, I guess, like that singing fish thing, even though I feel like that's probably a trout. But Scheana really, like,
definitely. One thing to know about me is I love sea bass.
She goes, I don't know many things in this world, but I know I definitely want a sea bass.
Now I know why she was cool with us when we saw her.
Why she was mean?
Because we're mean.
But we're mean out of love.
I know.
Scheana is a national treasure.
I love her. No, I'm just saying we go in on her voice.
No, I'm like, I don't want Scheana to ever listen to this podcast. I don't want her to know
I don't want
the nuances with which Scheana. I don't want her to understand the nuances with which we unpack her very soul. But if Scheana really, if we looked into each other's eyes, like that clip you posted of the podcasters being like, you're opening your third eye to me. Like, Scheana has spiritually opened her third eye to me, and I can see into her soul.
No, I do too.
And I know her. I would even argue sometimes better than she knows herself. And I deeply treasure her.
You don't have to defend this to me.
No, I'm not defending it to you. I'm just saying it to the listeners, and to Scheana, if you're listening. I treasure you. And I yearn for you to stay true always to yourself. I never want her to change.
No, and I think she's the anchor of the show and the center of the show.
Yeah.
And I truly meant what I said. I really think she gave me Princess Di vibes walking out of that court. And
she is someone who I don't begrudge her success. I want to see her be really successful. Whereas when Stassi and Katie were buying houses, I was literally like, fuck them, I hope their houses burn down. And with Scheana, I'm like, I want her to live in a castle. I want Scheana to be president of the United States.
I want Scheana to be like Connie Chung.
Yeah.
I want her to be the face of nightly news. When World War III breaks out, I want Scheana to be telling me about it.
I know.
I trust her.
She
should have her own talk show.
She should. Shenanigans. What if the news just became shenanigans? It basically is at this point. Yeah. Everything that happens in this world is a shenanigan. And the only person that can see us through these really dark and uncertain times is the one and only queen of shenanigans.
The queen of Azusa. Lala is ready to throw down with Raquel.
Lala's hatred for Rock is too much for me.
I want Lala to go to anger management again.
Because also she seems very self-aware in a lot of ways, but then when she goes all in on Rock, I'm like, this is a huge blind spot, and it makes me uncomfortable because I'm like, I don't think she realizes that it's such a projection of her own insecurities.
Yeah. Still love her. Sheena's talking about her wedding in front of Allie, who I would normally be like, that's a little rude, but Allie truly doesn't give a shit about her wedding.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't really understand why James wants me there, especially because Raquel is there. So that's probably why.
I kind of think
Allie's sharp.
Allie is sharp, and I don't think she really likes James that much.
Either. She just wants to be on the show. Which is fine.
I like that.
But she's I like that she's just kind of has his number, that he's still obsessed with Raquel.
Mm-hmm. Lala saying that Raquel looked like a baby prostitute at the pool party. I was like, Lala, you literally took your top off around everyone's boyfriends and then went to your hotel room later and sucked on a baby bottle.
Yeah.
You can't say these things if you're not also going to be and I know that because I'm the original baby prostitute. And there's nothing wrong with being a baby prostitute.
Ariana is so polite about Raquel. It kills me.
I know.
Schwartz, you see him doing push-ups and he's going, grateful for my brothers. grateful for my dad, grateful for my mom. And those like socks, like, you know, those socks.
Such a loser.
I was on a deep dive of his triplets Instagrams the other day.
What'd you find out?
Just an old picture with Tom where he was just beautiful. Like when he was like 20.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
Like genetically.
There's something off with them, right?
I wouldn't say there's something on with them.
I mean, there's something off with Schwartz. They're all a little off.
That whole family is very strange.
I was also like, that must be hard when you're not part of the triplets.
I don't think I'd want to be part of triplets. I'd be down to have a twin.
Yeah, twin is so cool.
A twin would be fucking cool. But like triplets is too much. And then I don't want to be part of them. Like I would, if I was born into octuplets, I'd kill myself.
Twin is so cool.
Twin is cool, but when you go beyond that, it's like, I don't want more. I want one other of me that I'm like.
I could be in a triplet. I like it.
3 ways, someone always gets hurt.
That's true.
I've always wanted to do stand-up paddleboard yoga.
It looks hard.
I know.
Where are they that it's so calm?
That's a great question. I was like, are you in the marina?
Yeah, I think they might be.
Why didn't you invite Scheana?
Yeah.
I hope Sheena's looking down at them with like a sniper gun.
Our one glimpse of Charlie.
I know.
Rude.
Lala. What?
I said, to Villa Rosa we go.
To Villa Rosa.
Oh yeah, they're having a tea party for Scheana.
Yeah, Lala meets Scheana and Brock for lunch.
Yeah, I kind of like blacked this out.
Well, I was just concerned because I didn't realize where they were, what restaurant they were at. I thought they were like an airy beachside restaurant, and they ordered like spicy rigatoni and salmon. I was like, oh, good for them. They're having like a kind of a John and Vinny's moment. And then Patrick told us that they were at Rocco's ordering that shit in the dead of summer. And I was like,
yeah,
these people, like, what is wrong with them?
Rocco's, Lance Bass's gay bar / restaurant where the National Guard snipers were posted up on the roof during the protests.
Yeah.
That will always stay in my memory.
I'll never not think of that. And it's another SUR-like restaurant where you just order French fries and drinks. You don't go off the beaten path.
No.
Lala loves Brock now, though.
She cries about him.
They I really love their healing journey and them like getting their kids together. And then I was like, I think I'm ovulating right now because every time I saw like a little kid, I was like, oh, like
Summer
having
Moon
that.
is so sweet.
Yeah, having that ovary moment of being like, I want that.
Yeah.
Like, I want my kids to like play with my friends' kids. And then I'm really like, I don't think I do. But I think my ovaries are. I think I'm ovulating.
Women talking.
I know. It's the real women talking.
So we had to Villa Rosa, which looks so. I do want to like die in that foyer. I want to have like I want to have like a stroke and just die in the foyer of Villa Rosa.
Do you think it's like nice there?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think it's like chintzy.
I'm like, is everything just made of like fake plaster? Or does Lisa just do that aesthetic at her restaurants, but then her house is like the real deal marble and glass?
I think that's what it is.
It must be.
It's beautiful.
Does she serve the same quality of food at her tea parties?
No. She's a classic have and the have not.
Lisa's selling like a watered down, like the shitty.
She's serving the Andre
version
champagne
of her lifestyle at SUR and Pump. That's like the whole thing is like you go there, you're in the world of Vanderpump, but you're actually not. The only way to be at the world of Vanderpump is in her house.
She's Viv in her real life, but at restaurant, Andre.
Okay.
That's my theory.
I'm really curious.
She checks in with her ponies.
Like, is there Argentinian beef being served at Villa Rosa?
Mm-mm. She goes, are you excited? Oh, the ponies, are you excited, my babies?
I love that I want to have ponies. I want to have horses and goats.
Do you love their little house?
Even though, but it smells.
Yeah, but I bet it's scary in the wind.
Yeah, I don't think that house doesn't look like. Also, can they fit in that little house?
I'd be worried about them in all this rain and wind.
They probably have a stable. I don't think they stay outside 24/7.
They stay outside in the witch's cabin. It's made of gingerbread. Take a bite.
Take a little lick of the icing.
The kids arrive.
Lisa has literally turned like 2 lost children into those ponies.
She has. It's Hansel and Gretel.
She is Hansel and Gretel.
There's a literal Hansel and Gretel of Coldwater Canyon, and she turned them into ponies.
Lisa.
Hecate
She's
Peg.
the witch.
She's literally Hecate Peg. We've discovered something.
We're really onto some shit right now.
I'm seeing your third eye.
I'm seeing. She
You're
showed
giving
me her
wit.
third eye, and it actually is a portal into witchdom. It's literally witchdom. You lure tiny children with the crumbs of Argentinian beef up the mountain. Come on now.
I know.
And then to the little playhouse where you turn them into ponies.
Everyone's worried about drag queens with children.
I'm more worried about Lisa.
Turning your child into a tiny pony.
Into tiny miniature ponies.
Sandoval and Raquel arriving together, leading the charge. Ariana, I'm like, ooh.
These two are bold.
They're wild. They're
Also,
manic.
Raquel, I guess, is just spending the night at that house now freely.
Yeah, sick.
I
think
would
that's-
burn that house to the ground
Yeah.
if I were Ariana.
I'd fumigate it. I guess she's away, so they're
So they're shacking up and squirting all over the walls.
squirting. She got in late the other night and left at 4 p.m. yesterday.
That to me seems incredibly disrespectful.
Yeah. Go to her shitty apartment.
Yeah, like don't
Don't taint Ariana's bed.
like I would rather be like, okay, we're both figuring out what to do with this house, but like
Yeah.
we don't bring people here
No.
if we want to fuck because we both live here. I
It's
don't
not
know.
a fuck pad.
That just is like
It's
really,
rude.
it's really fucking rude.
That's where I get like
That I get
Puritan.
up on my high horse.
Yeah. I think that's really lousy, and there's clearly like paparazzi everywhere. Like waiting.
Disgusting.
Disgusting. Sandy and Raquel just keep finding each other at the party. Little glimpses of them.
Ugh. This is a sweet bridal shower for SheShu. She deserves it.
Ariana has everyone sing Good as Gold as she walks in.
Mhm.
She goes, it's really hard to surprise Scheana. And I was like, I bet it is.
You can never surprise Scheana.
She goes, yeah, I was half surprised. I saw my sister's car, so I figured she was here.
So something was going on.
Sheena's on the damn beat 24/7.
She apparently has everyone's locations, which I love.
I love that.
How did she not see Rock?
Well, Rock was always hanging out with Tom and Ariana together. So, like,
Oof.
if you're third wheeling with a couple and then you just like stay later and someone sees your location, if you're just always with them, no one's going to think anything of it.
Or she had like a scrambler. Scramble the signal.
Rock is like CIA, FBI levels of like scramble.
Oh my God, they had burner phones. She would leave her phone in Valley Village at her apartment and bird scooter over to get plowed by Sandy at 4 a.m.
I need this reunion now. I need to know
know.
every single detail of their illicit fuck fest.
Lala and James are just like truly soulmates.
They really are. They're
Well-
so funny together.
Don't do that, James.
James,
Don't go there.
You need to stand down.
Stand down, James.
James jokes that he's like, should I ask Allie to marry me in Mexico? Because I guess last season, Scheana and Brock got engaged like during James and Raquel's like engagement party weekend. And then they like announced it and stole his thunder. It was like a big deal.
Very Meghan and Harry with Princess What's-Her-Face.
Exactly. So now James is trying to take back the power. I love Scheana and Brock.
Me too.
Schwartz and Raquel are like flirting at the tea party.
So fake.
And James goes, disgusting for him to flirt with Raquel right in front of me. He goes, go hit the treadmill, you fat fuck. I was like,
Schwartz is like translucent looking.
yeah, he's unwell.
He's sallow.
He's sick.
He's sickly
He's
boy.
sick. He's like soul sick.
Sick.
Katie and Christina Kelly plant a garden. Snooze.
I think Scheana goes,
When we're out of the country, there's nothing to do except have fun.
Totally.
yeah.
Her view of the world, impeccable.
Mm-hmm.
James is on fire, talking so much shit. He goes,
Yeah.
maybe I'll just put some babies in out. And you know, Lisa loves it.
Ew, he goes, I'm going to put some babies in her. And then Lala goes, can you not put it that way? Can you just say, like, you have a baby
He'd
together?
like to like have children with her. And he's like, what? I want to have many children with her. What? And Lala goes, why don't you take it? She goes, having a baby is not a joke. And he goes, really? Because Brock he had some babies. And she goes, James, stop. Lisa goes, stop that. What are
James-
you talking about?
James's turn And Lisa goes, don't drink.
She loves it.
He's like slinging
He's like
plates.
slinging a plate. He goes, fine, Scheana. And she goes, give me that, you silly bloke.
Silly bloke.
She's
And then
obsessed with him drinking. She probably told him to start drinking again.
And then we cut to like Katie and Christina like hoeing in the garden. And Katie asks Christina if she should acknowledge her anniversary with Schwartz tomorrow. And of course, Christina goes, yeah, I think you should. And I'm like, she's trying to fuck you.
Evil.
She is giving you, she did not call you out for your beret. I would be like, no, don't acknowledge it on social media. Are you kidding? You're divorced. Stop.
Yeah, you should not acknowledge it.
You should get fucked by someone else
like,
tomorrow.
Honestly, fuck this guy. He's like having some whole flirt thing with Raquel right now, and whether that's real or fake, it's so disrespectful. It's disgusting that he feels comfortable doing that, and you look like an idiot when you acknowledge anything. Like, be divorced from him.
Yeah, you should.
And let's go like gangbang some guys this weekend on camera.
Christina's but she's like,
said Christina Kelly's like,
yeah, I think you should.
Yeah, you really should.
Do you think I should do that? I should acknowledge his, I think it would have been 6 years. And she's like, yeah, you should totally acknowledge it and like write him like a loving message. I was like, you're a bad friend. Sorry.
You're a really bad friend.
That's shitty advice.
She's a friend that like is going to make you come over and like plant her garden and just like have plants everywhere and live in Santa Monica. And meanwhile, you're literally spinning out. You're in beret hell. You're getting divorced and you're like just looking for guidance from like the chicest person you know just to be like, what should I do? And they're just telling you everything. You should do the opposite of whatever Christina Kelly tells you to do.
100%.
Also, I was like, Christina Kelly, you are a bitch. You cannot show up to fucking Scheana's dinner. I know I'm skipping ahead, but when she did that, I was literally like, someone needs to drop kick this hoe out of this resort.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
what are you thinking?
the crew heads to Schwartz and Sandy's for a party. Sandoval and Schwartz don't let them drink their liquor, though. They have to bring their own shit.
These idiots.
Him and Raquel walk in together. And Schwartz is like, can I take you to the sound bath by the restrooms? And Raquel goes, yeah, I want to be transported to a portal.
I was like, I know her like flirt style. And I think it is just a huge part of her appeal is that she is younger and
silly.
And I think when you are younger, you're more like glamored by older loser dudes because they seem cool and you don't yet know that they're the fucking worst.
Yeah.
So, and then they get really high off of you being like, oh my God, they're so funny, or like being able to joke with them. But really, the only reason you're able to joke with them is that their maturity level is the same or lower than yours. And that's why it works out so well between them.
I would say lower. It's like you're the babysitter.
You don't know it yet.
No.
But you're hot babysitter. Raquel sidles up to Lala and she goes, I guess I'll just break the ice by saying hi.
She says, hi, Lala. And Lala goes, hey, how's it going?
She goes, where's Katie tonight? Not here, I suppose. And then Lala goes, no, she's just at home hanging out. And then it cuts to Katie just like fuging at her kitchen island, like stirring a pot. I was like,
listening to like
girl.
Dashboard Confessional.
It's like, you've got to like get your groove back. And you're not going to be able to do it by going to Mexico and hating on Scheana. Raquel and Schwartz go into the bathroom in front of everyone.
And then Lala asks Scheana if Allie can come to just the reception.
Oh,
And
James does.
James does. And then Brock and Scheana are like mulling it over. And Brock looks at Scheana and he's like, why are you all silent? She goes, I'm in visualizing it.
I'm visualizing the seating chart that I've spent so long in visualizing.
Visualize.
I was like, you're an incredible
Galaxy
woman.
brain. I love you.
You can do whatever you want, SheShu.
Which, of course, she says yes because she's a royal.
Yeah.
She's a duchess.
She acquiesces to James' wishes, and Allie is now invited to Mexico.
All right,
mate. A one, a two, a one, two, three, go. Rockstar.
We see the plane taking off from LAX. Of course, Sheena's basically having her wedding in Cancun. I just love it.
Yeah.
Playa del Carmen.
That is also where the Dead and Company play when they do Playing in the Sand, where they like take over a resort for like a whole weekend and they just do shows every night, is like right around that area. So it's not Cancun vibes, but it's not like total Cancun.
No, I've been there. My family and I stayed in Riviera Maya when I was a kid.
Riviera, yeah.
It's like
Resort
really,
vibes.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Family friendly. Raquel is a devious hooker though. She goes and peeing in the men's room and has like Schwartz like guard for her. But I'm also like, you're both sick for this because you know that you're like fucking Sandy.
Sandoval's manic.
Yeah, he's being weird.
He has like
He's guilty mania.
He has cum brain.
I just noticed like also now everything he does, I'm like, you're sick. You're a sick man.
He is sick.
When he sings like happy birthday or good as gold to Scheana and he like is so extra about it. And I was like,
and hugs her.
Everything always has to be about you, doesn't
you make
it?
everything about you, don't you?
Sick, perverted beast.
Yeah.
You're a beast. Get away from me, beast.
While Ariana just kind of dutifully waits in the corner.
Well, Ariana like knows that you're annoying as all hell, but puts up with it because you're hot, I guess. I don't know.
She's onto you that you're an attention whore.
I'm excited to see the truth of like, I hope Ariana says what she really thinks of Sandoval like throughout their relationship. Because I know that it's been clear at moments where she has his number or it's just like, you're lame and annoying, but
like when he was like, I really want to be here for you at the passing of your grandfather, but like, I want to go bulldoze shit.
Yeah. Or when he like forced himself to be part of her cocktail book.
Yeah. These men.
Everyone arrives in Mexico.
Scheana goes, we have arrived.
Queen of Mexico.
She is.
She goes, Katie gets her room number and she's comparing it to Lala and she goes, God, these are really far away. I'm in like 36 and you're in 17. And Scheana goes, yeah, I had her moved to a different tower and taken off the club list. And I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, that's what you get. You want to do this? You want to come and like be shitty to Scheana? Then like you're going to get sent to the other tower.
You're going to get moved to a different tower altogether and you're off the club list.
Sorry.
That was incredible work.
Sorry about it.
I also just love, like, Katie thought, like, I'm sticking it to Scheana.
Yeah.
Like, I got her goat this time and then realizes that, like, SheShu will overcome and she's not afraid to move your ass to another tower.
It's going to take you an extra 10 minutes to get to the breakfast every morning.
You're not invited to the breakfast every morning because you're not coming to this wedding. She's out of sight, out of mind, different tower.
Hell yeah.
Power. I like when Sheena's drunk with power.
I wonder if Raquel and Sandoval fucked on this trip.
Did Raquel have her own room?
I feel like, wasn't she with Schwartz? Were they in the same room? Because I felt like they both had the galaxy lights.
The edit made it kind of look like that, I think, because it was like trying to push the narrative that like they both like galaxy lights, like but like I also clocked that Ariana and Tom's room had 2 separate beds, which I was like, that's a little weird.
Well, it could just be like
I'd be throwing a fit. I'd be moving to a king size. I'm sleeping in a fucking queen bed with my husband.
Simon and I slept in the same bed when we had 2 beds once when we were on the road.
Oh, I remember that.
In Boston.
Had you already switched rooms like twice?
Yeah.
And you just didn't feel like you could do a third? I won't stop until I get a king.
I just kept thinking, like, are they going to be sneaking off? Yeah, I think they
Definitely.
would. Yeah.
If you have your own room also, and then Sandoval can just go in and out as he pleases.
Far from heaven vibes. LVP FaceTimes them with some hot guy.
Jamie.
Yeah. Damn.
Get him on the show.
Who is he?
Oof, I don't know. I just wrote hot ass Jamie. A realtor of some sort?
Lisa calls and she goes, in business, it's not always easy and you don't always get the answers you want. Sometimes it's just not the right time. To Ariana and Katie.
Sometimes you'll have a hard time hearing no, but this time is not one of them.
You're hearing yes today. And then Ariana and Katie start crying and jumping up and down. They got their sandwich shoppy off the ground.
Get ready, because there's something about her coming to a sandwich storefront near you.
Hot Jamie goes, have fun in Mexico, because when you get back, it's all business. I was like, sure.
Sure.
Cool.
So then
I just wrote poor Ariana, like when they're in the room and she's like, should we push the beds together? And then Tom like playfully tackles her under the bed. I was just like, ew.
I was like, this is the death knell of your relationship.
So bad.
Little do you know. Because Scheana is getting married at like the end of August. So I think
They were fucking already.
Rock and Tom have started.
Oh, they were.
They're going.
Yeah. Load fucking gust. Load gust.
They had low timber.
They had the most low timber. Maybe that's why
Maybe that's why I channeled low timber so hard,
my
is because I was
God.
literally picking up like psychic vibes
Yeah.
of Rock and Tom Sandoval's low timber.
You were a conduit. Wow. And maybe that's why I was like, kind of like, wait, what are we doing? Because I wasn't on that wavelength.
You were clutching your pearls a little bit. You were a little bit nervous about low timber. You didn't really want to get involved in the discourse, but
They were loading it up.
they were loading.
I still think that girl that called in about the British girl was Raquel, who called in about getting loads from her best friend's husband like 5 times a day. The fuck was that?
That could have been Raquel.
Calling in with a fake accent.
I mean, at this point, I wouldn't put anything past anything. So Katie and Tom are gonna go like have an anniversary house dinner. Weird, but you guys gotta just figure it
Yeah,
out. I mean,
yeah.
I'm glad we didn't have to see that. And then Christina Kelly swans down into Sheena's
Dinner.
dinner.
And
That's
Sheena's,
inappropriate.
Sheena's like, I don't want this bitch here because she, not only did she make fun of my dress with Stassi, but she offended my heritage.
My Mexican heritage.
Yeah. She called her, Stassi said it was a sad quinceañera dress.
I remember that episode. Stassi was so mean about her, and Christina Kelly were truly so mean.
And racist.
Well, what else is new with old Stassi Schroeder? But like,
That's bull. I'm like, that's real rich from you, KK.
I know. What do you think you're doing? Our producer must have said, just like go to the dinner and sit down.
I would have
If
been.
I were Scheana, I would have been like, you need to leave.
I would have been ordering room service
Yeah, I wouldn't go down to the party that like of someone that I don't even like.
and made fun of.
I wish Scheana would tell her to leave.
She might.
I pray that the next episode opens with Scheana being like, actually, there's not enough room, so you're gonna have to go.
I mean, I think it's sort of a to be continued.
Yeah, so on the way to dinner,
This is so weird.
one of Brock's like drunk Australian friends, I guess, like kind of put his arm around James playfully, and then James like body checked him and like gotten a semi-violent altercation.
James's gay panic went into like overdrive.
He got a boner and then immediately reacted.
He's like, I must terminate.
Mm-hmm.
And he went into full gay panic Terminator mode where he just like with super strength, douche, lunged across the lobby
He like Fight Club beat the guy's face to a pulp.
like Jared Leto.
Yeah. And Allie was like, whoa. And Ariana was like, yikes. And then everyone sat down and there was tension. And James was like, what? What you so mad about, mate? What? I had to be, I was annoyed. What? You're making a big deal. And Ariana was like, I just don't like violence. Like, I don't want you to push someone. I don't like that situation.
And then Ariana goes off. She basically goes full mother
Mm-hmm.
and shames this little British boy into his like pooing his pants.
I was also keeping my eye on like other diners around in that cafeteria, and they were a bit scandalized as well by her raising her voice.
I had my eye on Raquel when Tom and Ariana approached.
What did she do?
She went,
Mm.
just fucked. Ariana goes, that was insane. Don't do that. I've had enough. Enough. I'm done with it. I'm done. And I was like, whoa.
She goes, I don't like it when you do it. I don't like it when he does it. And I was like, yikes. I was like, what are you
She's
really mad
something.
about?
I think she had the ick.
I think she has some rage underneath. Rightly so.
Yeah.
Her dog just passed away. I'd be biting people's heads off too. If I was in a relationship with Sandoval.
She's a disrespected bisexual woman living in Valley Village with a piece of shit.
I know. And then having this guy just like talk over her. I love Raquel being like, I saw Allie cringing and I thought to myself, thank God that's not me anymore. And I was like, that's real.
But get ready.
But when James and Al was like trying to make out with Allie and like bite her butt and like flirt with her and she's just like, stop. I was like, she doesn't like him.
No.
Because if you like someone, you let them do that kind of stuff, even if you're like, this is silly or whatever. But I think she knows that he's just trying to like get under Raquel's skin.
I think she's like, look, I'm trying to start a business. I'm young, some airtime.
Get my astrology readings booked.
Every time he goes to kiss her, she goes.
She goes,
So we leave off with Ariana just going in on James. So we'll see what happens next week.
I wish that they would air every next episode
I know.
until the big news drops and you could watch them on like 1.5 speed. So everyone's like, I'd like to see bass. I do. And just like move past it until we get to the moment where Ariana discovers that sex recording.
I need
The screen recording
Sandoval.
of both Sandoval and Raquel fapping to each other. That honestly belongs in a museum. They should sign a release and make a museum of that.
Smithsonian.
They should host like a screening of it.
Yeah. Of the fapping.
Yeah.
It's the squirting. Squirt time.
Of both of them jerking it on FaceTime.
Playing a banjo.
Also, like,
imagine being at your man's like shitty cover
Horrible.
band and then you
where he's singing in a Scottish accent.
and then you see his phone and you see your best friend like
You're like,
finger fucking herself.
and him doing it too.
Him finger fucking himself too.
Horrible. Your entire life flashes before you're like,
K-hole.
I'm excited for her comeuppance because her life's just going to get so much better. Like, she needed to be released.
She did. I just want to see her in that shot where she goes chilling.
For you to die.
For you to die.
Get out of her house.
Get
Tom
out of her
Sandoval.
house. Cleanse that house. After she should have a shaman come over and do like a ceremony.
I know. How do we get them out of that house?
Get Srumata there. The old witch.
We need a witch to get them the fuck out.
Guys, get ready for next week.
Scheana's wedding is upon us.
Scheana's getting married again, and this time it's for real. And this time, I really want the sea bass.
I definitely am going to get the sea bass.
I hope that Scheana, I don't wish her ill, but I would love to see her going like an Elizabeth Taylor route. Like, she's an icon to me, and I
Virginia
think
Woolf.
Scheana?
You want her to go like Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
No, I want her to go like 9 marriages.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I think she has like 9 or 10 marriages in her.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Like, I love Brock for her, and I love that he respects her and treats her well and is a good father to their child. But I also, like, if he drops the ball for 1 second,
It's time.
for even 1 millisecond, I want Scheana to leave his ass and then upgrade to a new man,
a royal.
a royal. No, she's better than
Liechtenstein.
the royal family. She's better than the royals. She should honestly get back with John Mayer.
What if a sea bass officiates their wedding? Giant sea bass that only they know his language.
Scheana, she walks up the aisle with a fishing pole and then she casts the pole into the ocean, catches a sea bass, reels it into shore, and it kind of props up on its back fins and it officiates the wedding.
Love.
And then they grill it at the end and they eat it.
Yeah.
I'll have the sea bass.
This was great.
Why did I love that line so much?
I wrote it down too.
Scheana is the most iconic person in that she can say one thing, and if someone else said it, it wouldn't matter.
No.
But when she says it, it means something
It's true.
really major. Like her moment where she is, I pretty much invited the whole crew. That was like from a past season. I'm going to say like season 6 or 7.
Also,
We've arrived.
We have arrived.
well, guys, be like Scheana.
Start some shenanigans
Head to
wherever
the
you are.
courthouse.
Report on the shenanigans in
Yeah.
your area.
Don't narc, but report.
It's not narking if you're observing and just sharing
shenanigans.
with other people. Reporting is different than like telling on people.
Yeah. Be unbiased.
Be aware of all the shenanigans that are taking place on a day-to-day basis around you and in your community.
That's such a good point.
You should just always do baseline awareness of local shenanigans is great. But then once you start seeing the shenanigans around you,
Your third eye opens.
your third eye opens and you start to realize that literally everyone's committing shenanigans
At all times.
at all times. And then you can ask yourself, what shenanigans am I comfortable committing?
I love that.
And that's shenanigans. Wait, we also are going to thank some cult members right now.
Do it.
Wow, there are many.
Yes.
Martin Mulges, Mary, Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey is a real one. Rochelle Martino and Mariah Carey are the original OG cult members. There's Hillary, and of course, we can't forget Emily.
Of course.
No, there will be no forgetting of Hillary and Emily.
No.
And we welcome Mary.
Welcome to the cult.
Martin Mulges. Thank you.
Thank
He's
you,
a
Martin.
Euro.
Yes.
Things are happening.
C'est la vie.
Bye. Sexy Unique Podcast is created and hosted by me, Lara Marie Shane-Halls. This episode was co-hosted by the one and only Carey O'Donnell. This episode was edited by Ness Smith-Savadoff.